Welcome to this model. You are watching VLSI Design Lecture Series. Today, we are going to speak about RC delay model. On-chip metal wires of more than a few millimeters of length have significant resistance. The equipotential assumption presented in lumped capacitor model is no longer adequate and resistive capacitor model has to be adopted. The first approach lumps the total wire resistance on each wire segment onto one single R and simply we can combine the global capacitance into a single capacitor C. This simple model called the lumped RC model is pessimistic and an inaccurate for long interconnect wires, which are more adequately represented by a distributed RC model. So yet before analyzing the distributed RC model, it is worthwhile to spend some time on the analysis of the modeling of the lumped RC networks. For this in this video, the DC RC delay model is a technique used to calculate the signal delay between the input voltage and output voltage of the input signal. The input signal is a step function. In this case, the transistor can be considered as a switch in series with a resistor. The RC delay model treats a transistor as a switch in series with a resistor. The effective resistance is the ratio of the VDS to IDS averaged across the switching interval of interest. A unit NMOS transistor is defined to have effective resistance R. An NMOS transistor of K times unit width has resistance R by K because it delivers K times as much current. A unit PMOS transistor has greater resistance, generally in the range of 2R to 3R, because of its lower mobility. Each transistor also has gate and diffusion capacitance. We define C to be the gate capacitance of a unit transistor of either flavor. The transistor of K times unit width has its capacitance Kc. The diffusion capacitance depends on the size of the source drain region. We assume that the contacted source and drain of a unit transistor to also have capacitance of about C. The wider transistors have proportionally greater diffusion capacitance. Increasing the channel length increases the gate capacitance proportionally but doesn't affect the diffusion capacitance. The diagram shows the equivalent RC circuits for NMOS and PMOS transistor. The NMOS transistor has a switch denoted here, and the gate side we have the capacitance Kc, and in source side we have the capacitance Ic, and in drain side we have a resistor and capacitor. Similarly, you can see the equivalent circuit of a PMOS transistor also here. So these diagrams shows the PMOS and NMOS transistors of width K with contacted diffusions on both source and drain. The PMOS transistor has approximately twice the resistance of the NMOS transistor because holes have lower mobility than electrons. The PMOS transistors are shown with the VDD as their second terminal because N-well is usually tied high. And this diagram shows the equivalent circuit for fan out of one inverter with a negligible wire resistance. This is the equivalent circuit of an inverter. And the unit inverters in this diagram are composed from an NMOS transistors of unit size and PMOS transistors of twice unit width to achieve equal rise and fall resistance. The second diagram 4.6b gives an equivalent circuit showing the first inverter driving the second inverter's gate. If the input A rises, the NMOS transistor will be on and PMOS off. And this next diagram shows the case where switches are removed. The capacitors shorted between the two constant supplies are also removed here because they are not charged or discharged. The total capacitance on the output Y is 6C. Now consider applying an RC model to estimate the step response of a first order system that we are going to derive the transient response now. The figure shows the first order RC system where step input is applied to the RC circuit here. This system is a good model of an inverter sized for equal rise and fall delays. The system has transfer function h of s is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus s into RC, and the step response V out of t is equal to VDD into e power minus t by tau, where tau is equal to RC. The propagation delay is the time at which V out reaches VDD by 2. For TPD is equal to RC into ln of 2, and the factor of ln of 2 is equal to 0.69 as cumbersome, so you can write TPD as RC. So this diagram shows the first order step response, that is, if you increase the time t, your V out by VDD decreases exponentially. And this diagram shows the second order system. R1 and R2 might model the two series NMOS transistor in a NAND gate or an inverter driving a long wire with non-negligible resistance. The transfer function of this second order system is given by h of s is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus s into R1 C1 plus R1 plus R2 into C2 plus s squared into R1 C1 R2 C2. The function has two real poles and step response V out of t is equal to VDD into tau 1 into e power minus t by tau 1 minus tau 2 into e power minus t by tau 2 divided by tau 1 minus tau 2. Now let us move on to Elmos delay. In general, most circuits of interest can be represented as an RC tree and an RC circuit with no loops. The root of the tree is the voltage source and the leaves are the capacitors at the ends of the branches. The Elmos delay is a simple approximation to the delay of the RC network in an electronic system, and these are the steps that has to be followed while designing the Elmos delay. So you have to find the delay through each segment as the R times the C, that is electrical resistance was times electrical capacitance, and we have to sum the delays from the root to the sink. The Elmos delay model estimates the delay from source switching to one of the leaf nodes, changing as the sum over each node I of the capacitance Ci on the node multiplied by the effective resistance on the shared path from the source to the node and the leaf. So TPD is equal to sigma I Rn into Ci. You can observe that the delay of ideal fan-out of one inverter with no parasitic capacitance is tau is equal to 3 RC. We denote the normalized delay D relative to this inverter delay as D is equal to TPD divided by tau. You can compute Elmos delay for V out and the second order RC system from this diagram. So here the circuit has a source and two nodes, and at node 1 the capacitance is C1 and the resistance to the source is R1. At node V out the capacitance is C2 and the resistance to the source is R1 plus R2, and hence the Elmos delay is R1 C1 plus R1 plus R2 into C2. And now you can estimate the TPD for a unit inverter driving M identical inverters, and this diagram shows an equivalent circuit for the following transition. Each load inverter presents 3C units of gate capacitance for a total of 3 MC. The output node also sees a capacitance of 3C from the drain diffusions of the driving inverter. The parasitic capacitance is independent of the load that the inverter is driving, hence the total capacitance is 3 plus 3M into C. The resistance is R, so the Elmos delay is given by TPD is equal to 3 plus 3M into RC. So if a unit resistor has R is equal to 10 kilo ohm and C is equal to 0.1 picofarad in 65 nanometer process, you have to compute the delay in picoseconds of the inverter with a fan out of H is equal to 4. So therefore from the diagram the RC product in the 65 nm process is 10 kilo ohms into 0.1 picofarad is equal to 1 picoseconds. For H is equal to 4, the delay is 3 plus 3H into 1 PS, which is equal to 15 PS. And this is called the fan out of 4 inverter delay and is representative of the gate delays in a typical circuit. Now let us see the linear delay model. The RC delay model showed that the delay is a linear function of the fan out of the gate. In general, the normalized delay of a gate can be expressed in units of tau as D is equal to F plus P. where P is the parasitic delay inherent to the gate when no load is attached. F is the effort delay or stage effort that depends on the complexity and fan-out of the gate. Therefore, F is equal to GH, where G is the logical effort. An inverter is defined to have logical effort of 1, and more complex gates have greater logical efforts, indicating that they take longer to drive a given fan-out. For example, the logical effort of the 3-input NAND gate is 5 by 3. A gate driving H identical copies of itself is said to have a fan-out of electrical effort of H. If the load doesn't contain identical copies of the gate, the electrical effort can be computed as H is equal to C out divided by C in, where C out is the capacitance of the external load being driven and C in is the input capacitance of the gate. And this figure plots the normalized delay versus electrical effort for an idealized inverter and 3-input NAND gate. The y-intercepts indicate parasitic delay, the delay when gate drives no load. The slope of the lines is the logical effort, and the inverter has a slope of 1 by definition, and the NAND has a slope of 5 by 3. So this you can see in this diagram, and the parasitic delay is denoted by the letter P. Thank you.